Diamond and Olive Plexus. She does this, and I'm not on her team, and she doesn't care. She's just the sweetest person on the world.
Okay, so who here has something to shout out from November? Does anybody have any amazing, awesome, incredible, any type of win that they want to share? Hey, Tina.
I do.
Tell me.
I got Lady Retreat.
Woohoo! That's awesome. When did that happen? Yesterday?
Yes.
I love it when you slide into the home run at the last minute. I love that because I had 2 girls yesterday that were working really hard, and they're still going to get it, but they're so close. I hate it when you know there's points there, but they won't show for a couple weeks. So you're like, the other thing is, I don't know if you guys saw this, but we just had, gosh, you're going to hear her story on Monday night, this upcoming Monday night. She's going to share, she's been with Plexus. Her name's LaToya. So she's my level 2. She's been with Plexus for almost, gosh, has it been 6 years now? She got started with the business. She was at Alita's very first Sip and See. So she and Alita, they both ran the Sip and See. I sat there in the back, like giving them like the thumbs up, like you're doing a good job kind of moment. They worked the business together for about a year. And then LaToya like had all these other opportunities and ministry things. And so she kind of took a step back. She decided this year to come back and really start working the business. And she's been really working on, personal growth and leadership skills. All that to say, she signs this girl, Valerie, or she signs this girl, Danielle, who I don't even know what to say. She fast started Ruby. This girl, fast start Ruby. I'm still like, how do you do that? Who also signs a girl who fast started Senior Gold. And I'm telling you all that because I don't want you to miss that Zoom on Monday night, because LaToya is going to share with you kind of like the things that she's been through with her journey. I find it so encouraging when someone has been with Plexus that long. It just makes you so excited to think like, what's coming down the road? Like, what are the things I don't realize that are going to come? And why is it important just to kind of stay the course and also show compassion for yourself? Because she did take a step out. And that's okay. She did, but she came back and it was timing. Everything was meant to be the way that it happened. So does anybody else have a win before we get busy? Congratulations, by the way, Tina.
Thank you.
Nobody else has a win. Interesting.
I signed 4 last month and maintained my senior silver.
That's amazing. Okay, so you signed 4, so you got $100 extra.
Yes, and I'm working towards gold. So that's my goal. But just I re-ranked senior silver in October after the diamond retreat. I started doing the business side of it because I've been using it for almost, I think, 4 years. And so I re-ranked senior silver because I think I did senior silver by accident. It's just one of those things that happened. And Sarah was like, called me and said, well, actually Sarah, Lori and all them, it was like a conference call and I'm in the car and they're like, oh my gosh, Marlena, and I wasn't trying. It was just one of those things that happened. And, but then I lost it, I didn't maintain the rank. And so then when I went to the retreat and I was just amazingly motivated and spoken to by y'all and the Lord. But anyways, so I managed to re-rank senior silver in October and then I maintained it in November. So I'm proud of myself for that.
You should be. And it's like someone saying I accidentally lost 10 pounds and I wasn't even trying. That's not really a thing. Like you actually were doing things that you just didn't realize how awesome they were. So you getting to senior silver is enormous. It's the best. I'm super proud of you. So we're going to talk in a minute about retention. I want you guys also to be part of that Diamonds in December. So I want to make sure we're doing that. Anybody else that has a win? It just feels so good to start off on a positive note. Anybody else?
I do. Sorry, my camera's off because it's been crazy, but
you know how I feel about your accent, right?
But my coffee, I'm having my coffee.
I love it. I wish I talked like you. I love it.
Yeah, so I had the highest points I've ever had. I was at 389. Felt really, really good. So close to Ruby, happening this month. And I had one of my girls she ranked up to senior silver, from silver to senior silver. So yeah, and I had one girl who never added anybody, came out of the woodwork and added one. So she's going to go silver this month.
That's
So
incredible.
exciting. Good things happening.
And have you earned Leaders Retreat? Are you close to that?
I have 500 points, so I'm close.
You're really close. Okay. This is super exciting. And you know what, you guys, here's what I want you to hear me say, because I would have thought this was woo woo, but it's not woo woo. It's real. And it really has to do with when you work on yourself, when you work on your confidence, when you work on your skill set, you do all of that. It actually changes your posture, changes your energy, changes the way you perform, and you begin attracting people that are just like that. So one of the things I read, there's a book, it's called The Biology of Belief. I think his last name's Lipton, like the soup. This book explains exactly what happens when you start to believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, genes are just little sections of your DNA that code for things to happen in your body. So the gene that needs to maybe push you to do this, that, or the other gets turned on. So when you believe in yourself, this gene turns on, and it's actually indicative of successful people. Successful people turn on their genes. That actually sounds really funny. I kind of like coming up with a little ditty on that. So successful people turn on their genes. It's not about the skills you have. Like if you have the skills, great. That's like some added bonus. But if you don't, great. If you believe in yourself, like people could blindly believe in themselves and absolutely kill it. And then you say, how did you do it? And they're like, they don't know, because they just believed they could do it and they started operating in that way. So I hope all of you guys do that. I see Christina, she shows up, she's working on herself. If you don't know about the law of attraction, which I used to think that is really weird. I'm just going to say it and it's going to happen, but that's not it. It's like, it's staying in that space of strength and positivity, and you begin operating in a different way. Because I was sharing with somebody, I think it's going to be in my Diamonds in December video, but I signed up for the hot chocolate run in February because I'm insane. It's a 5K. I don't even know what that means. I don't even run, but I'm thinking to myself, I could do this. But then in my heart, I'm like, no, I can't. Like I keep having all these pictures of being like the last person. They have to like send a van out to pick me up or something. I have all these like horrible thoughts about how I can't do it. And I keep saying to myself, oh my gosh, you can't do it. Why would you sign up for that? And I realized the more I say that, the less I believe, the more likely I really won't be able to do it. Like I actually will embarrass myself, but I want to be able to do it. Plus they have hot chocolate at the end, like Godiva hot chocolate. So yeah, I'm going to get to the end. I got to do it. The point is, believing in yourself is like the ingredient that we have to remember to have. But many of us are like, okay, I've done my IP every day. Like, let me show you my book. I've checked off all these things, but don't forget that really important ingredient. And I see Christina doing that. I went on a segue, sorry. So the first thing we're going to do, and if you've already watched it, I apologize, go do something else, but we're going to watch Krista Deary's Diamond in December video for today, because if you're not doing that, and if you're not on a team page with it, let me know. You can be on my team page. I'm posting them every day. I want you guys watching these, because these people have actually learned these lessons, not from books and not from hearing it from someone else. They've actually done things that taught them these lessons. I mean, I want to learn from someone that's done it and experienced it, and it wasn't easy. So we're going to do that really quick. I have to share my screen, and you can see how completely insane my computer looks. I'm not an adult. I've already told you guys that. Make this big. All right, can you see my screen? Yes or no?
Beautiful.
Oh wait, I totally thought that I had opened that up. Here it is. Okay, thumbs up. You can see it.
This holiday, share the joy of music. Guitar Center is your one-stop shop with the best prices of
Skip
the year.
ads. Here we go.
Hello, friends. Merry Christmas. My name is Krista Deary. I'm a diamond with Plexus. I'm a mom of 8, and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And my topic for you today is really more of a question for all of us. And it's this: do you trust the process? Now, I mentioned that we have 8 kids. They range in age from 19 down to 3, 4 boys, 4 girls. All 8 came naturally. All 8 were natural births. 7 of the 8 were home births, and 1 of the 8 was an unassisted birth. We love all things having to do with children and with the miracle of childbirth. I think it's fascinating to study, not always fascinating to be in the process of it, right? We all know it's hard work and can be painful, but really it's probably one of my favorite things to study in the whole wide world. I think it's miraculous and powerful and amazing what our bodies can do. But don't you know, there's a process to having a baby, right? What can often start as a seed of a dream inside of our hearts now begins as life in the womb. And then as you get to the point of meeting this amazing dream come true of a child, you've got to go through something called labor. And labor itself has a process, often starting with either your water breaking, right? Or the start of some contractions that are being felt. There's different signs that you can be watching for that kind of give you a clue that it is time for this baby to come. And right before the pushing stage, there's a beautiful time called transition. For me, I can always tell I'm in transition because that's usually when I'm like ready to give up. I'm telling the midwives, never mind, I don't like home birth anymore. Take me to the hospital, give me an epidural, just cut me open and take the baby out. I really don't care. Who cares about home birth? Who cares about natural births? Get me out of the tub. Let's just go cut this out of me, because I'm in transition and I realize, okay, I'm so close to pushing, but often that's when I feel most weak, most worn out, most vulnerable, most prone to the emotions that say, just quit and just give up. Isn't that odd that the stage right before pushing and seeing that child is often when you feel the most weary and like giving up? And I think that is true of all of us in many seasons of life. And it can definitely show up in this journey as an entrepreneur in the network marketing industry. There's a process to this business. There are steps to this business. There are seasons to this business, but there will be times that you will feel like you're in transition. And transition might make you feel like quitting. It might be this season where you're like, give me the easy button. Who has the easy button? Let me out of this transition season. But friends, that truly means you are so close to delivering and giving birth to those dreams that have been inside of you. All of us came into this with dreams in our heart. Now, mine were stuffed really down deep. I don't know about you, but they were down deep. We had really given up on the big dreams that we had had as newlyweds. And so it took a bit for me to begin to dream again, but those dreams were still there. And God brought us to this opportunity to see those dreams fulfilled. He's not a tease. He's not a jokester when it comes to your dreams. He places those dreams inside you for a purpose that often stretches far beyond you. There's people to be impacted on the other side of seeing those dreams fulfilled. And so those dreams began to pop back up in our hearts as we went after them. And we were just so aware that God brought us to this space to see those dreams come true. But there was labor involved. There was transition involved. There was pushing involved. There was hard work involved. And that's going to be true for you as well. Now, in childbirth, here's how I can know whether I trust the process of childbirth or not. If I trust it, I work with it. When a contraction comes, I move towards the pain, giving way to it, relaxing myself as much as possible so my body can do the work. If I'm trusting the process of childbirth, I'm not freaking out. I'm trusting that my body knows what to do, that God made me for this. My emotions stand strong. I stay laser focused, often closing my eyes and just giving way so that my body does what it needs to do. Now, how can I tell if I don't trust the process of childbirth? I freak out. I tighten up when a contraction comes, which makes the contraction that much more painful. I mean, it's so silly. Why resist it? Just work with it, right? But sometimes when we feel pain, we tighten up and we resist. We're conditioned this way. We want things fast and pain-free. And labor and delivery is often the opposite. It's not quick and it's not pain-free. But if we can shift how we think, and when pain comes and a contraction comes, we work with it, the process is usually easier and faster. And that will be true of your business. When you recognize a pain point, lean into it, don't resist it. Don't freak out. Don't look for the easy button. Lean into it and it will make your journey easier, more fruitful, and you will see that birthing process come to pass that much faster. I truly Truly believe it. Now, what could a birthing pain look like as you're giving birth to your destiny through this opportunity? It might be times that friction comes, that a disappointment comes your way, that you recognize something in your character that needs to be addressed. Maybe you're not as patient as you thought you were. Maybe your love walk needs a little bit more of a touch up. It's going to be all different things. Maybe it's simply that you need to work on your time management, on managing your finances well, on simply doing your IPAs every day. But my homework for you today is to simply sit down and write down, where are the areas of your life and of your business that you are resisting the process? And what can you do to pivot and to make a change so that you can work with the process, make it that much more smooth of a journey, and see your dreams fulfilled, especially in this upcoming year in 2022 that's right around the corner. God brought you here for a purpose. He put those dreams inside you for a purpose. And he didn't promise this would be easy, but he sure does know that it will be worth it. You know, I serve a God that cares far more about my heart and the condition of my heart than the condition of my business. And I'm thankful for that. And I want to model that as a leader on our team, that I will look at my team members and care far more about their hearts and this journey and this process than I do about their points and their rank. Because then through this all, at each rank and at each destination, as we go after the goals and the dreams inside of us, we are becoming the best versions of ourselves. That's what makes it worth it, beyond a paycheck, beyond a title, beyond a new car or a trip to Hawaii. Who are you becoming in this process because of the power of trusting it and leaning into it and grabbing hold of it for all it's worth? He's brought you here. Know that. Trust that. Don't resist it. Don't hit the easy button. Lean in today and grab hold of what's in your hands and watch your dreams come true. Love y'all. Merry Christmas.
Good gracious. Anybody else have goosebumps? She's just so good. Okay, so this is like, if you're not used to being on this power hour, or maybe you were like hoping I would give you like all these amazing things to do to make you diamond tomorrow, what we're going to do instead for like the next, I'm going to say 8 minutes, we're going to work on what she said. I want you to think about, what are you willing to commit to? What areas of your life are you resisting? I'm going to think about, what is it that she said something about? Are there areas of your character that you're noticing? Ooh, like I'm not as patient as I need to be. I want us to all really reflect on that. And then I'm going to ask one person to share, which means you're going to be totally embarrassed, but also brave. And it's going to be, you're going to change someone's life. So we're going to do that for the next 8 minutes, work on this. And then if you have team members that haven't watched it, I'm going to drop the link here in the chat and you can send it to them and say, hey, will you take 10 minutes and watch this? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me put that link really quick. Okay, so I saw Tina say it took her a bit to figure out what she's resisting. Is anyone willing to talk about kind of what they thought through and what they wrote? I saw that Stacy said she'd been resisting her gratitude journal, which I don't know if you were on that call, but when she was sharing about really what that did for her and her mindset, isn't that so funny? It's like, we know if we take our products every day, or we know if we work out, we're going to feel this certain way, but we still let ourselves kind of fall back from that routine, and we just need each other to like push each other to keep going. Does anybody want to share?
I'm willing to share.
Thank you. Go for it, Amy.
Okay. The very first thing that came to mind, and this is something it's been a few months, prayer. Like simply going in prayer and being consistent and just laying it all before him, everything, whatever the day may hold, for that day. It seems like you can wake up one day and be so full of belief, and like seriously, it could be by noon or by the next day, it's you're struggling, or I'll speak for myself, I'm struggling. So I loved what she had to share in that documentary about well, it just left my head, but the fact that the Lord gives us those dreams, and it's not just for us. It's not like, when I think of dreams, I think of Joseph. He dreamed, and when he shared it with his brothers, they judged it and they thought it was all about him. But when God brought that dream to fruition, it was about their whole country. It was about that whole land and his brothers, and it was for their salvation, bread. And so often we look at our dreams, and I think the enemy can tell us they're so small and they're selfish, when really God's dreams for us, when he gives us whatever dream it is, it's always bigger than we can ever really imagine, and in fact, it says in the scripture that he can do exceedingly beyond all we can ask or imagine. And it's not just about us. I love that she brought that out in the video. So that's for me where I'm starting. I know that's not it is a part of business. He is the one that gives us, he's the source. And so anyways, that was mine. It was convicting right off when she said it.
Amy, that was really encouraging, because Les Brown talks about this. I've heard this in a couple different places, but the whole idea that dreams don't just magically appear, they're planted there, and you've been given everything to accomplish that dream. And it's a dream on purpose. And I think we should all be really passionate about that, because sometimes some of us will get stuck in the, is it wrong to want success? Is it wrong to want to be able to make a bigger income? But we have to remember, what is our actual reason behind that? So that, I think that can be revealed through prayer. Like, God, why is it that I'm moving this direction? And sometimes people, when they get to that transition stage she talked about, suddenly they're like, I don't think I'm supposed to do this anymore. Instead of like saying, this is hard and it makes me feel uncomfortable, it's like, I feel like this is a sign I'm supposed to quit. You're like, really right now? So good. We're going to talk about December goals. So I'm going to have Sarah Marble on mute here in a second, but I want to talk to you really quick. So when you end a month, one of the things that you really should be checking is who was close to silver. Did anyone not maintain their rank? And I know that there's not consistency club to keep people, but we do have credits that apply for success sprints for maintaining your rank. But what I really want you to hear me say is, if there's anyone on your team not maintaining their rank, that is a sign of a slow fade, because if they're not willing to push that extra 15 points, the next month, they're not going to be willing to push that extra 50. The next month, they're not going to be willing to push that extra 70. And what you're going to see is they start to have this slow fade back. And in the meanwhile, they're getting all this head trash. Be a protector of your person, and be a protector of your culture, because if a lot of people experience a slow fade and they're all having like a chorus, there's like a soprano, alto, and tenor of slow fade, that is going to destroy the fiber of your team. You really have to go to someone and you say, well, what is my leverage? Your leverage is, you are a senior Ruby and you deserve to stay at that place. Let's get you there. Like, you are able, you are capable. And this is your stepping stone to that next level. I don't want you to go through the slow fade. I don't want you to have imposter syndrome. That's the reason. So make sure that you guys are checking that. And I'm sure Sarah will give us specifics, but Sarah, go ahead. I'm going to mute myself and you talk us through December goals.
So goals is something that makes my heart pitter patter. Like I am huge with reflecting, processing, putting it out there, you know, all of those things. But I have a few different things that just something that has become habit and something that I do regularly. But first, before I forget my train of thought, how do you have hard conversations with those losing points, but they seem to be okay with it? This was something that I learned in my business. It took way too long for me to learn this. I had goals and dreams for people that weren't their goals and dreams. So it's great to see, have vision for them and plant those seeds of vision and tell them where you think you think they could be, and all of that. But if somebody, and I've had some of these conversations recently, if somebody like just went out there and, you know, rocked and rolled, let's say they fast started gold. And then you notice like the next month they've got 80 points and then the next month they've got 65 points. Here's what I usually say with a conversation. Hey, I just wanted to check in with you. I know you had an amazing start to your Plexus journey. We chatted about some of your goals. I just wanted to check in and see, are those goals the same now, or has something changed? When I asked that question, which I just did to a level 1 recently, she said, I really appreciate that you noticed. I changed jobs and I'm just drowning in life. She said, I'm passionate about Plexus still. I love it. I'm still faithful with my products. I will be back. I just can't give it the same amount of attention that I previously had. So I had created this red line story in my head, like, oh my gosh, like she's going somewhere, you know, she's already moved on. Like, I had created all of this drama around watching those points slide, when in reality, she had a purpose, a plan, a reason, and had already thought it through for when she was going to be able to get back to shifting that focus. So I feel good, she feels good, and we are on the same page. Rather than having that friction of, I want her to be here, she was here, and now she's not anymore. Just don't leave that. And that's one of those things, stepping into the leader role, is having those hard conversations that don't need to be hard. We just naturally, with human nature, make them hard, right? And here's the other thing. Maybe they say, oh, I wasn't in my back office. I didn't know I wasn't gold anymore, right? Maybe it's just truly they found 20 amazing people early on, and they need to now know the fundamentals and skills of retention and follow-up. So when you talk to them about that, they just might not understand that they have a lot of people who they need to just check in with and make sure they're being consistent and understand subscriptions and perks and all of that. So it could truly just be a conversation about skills. And then for some people, here's what it's going to come down to. They're willing to and want to doesn't line up with, I want to be this, but I'm not willing to do X, Y, and Z, the amount of work that it's going to require to get me there. I think I did a call one time where we talked about the resistance between the goal and then what they're willing to do. Sometimes either the effort needs to come up, or we need to help them to be a little bit more realistic in what their goal needs to be, maybe even just short term. Because let's say they're like, let's do it, I'm going Emerald. And then they're like, I really only have about 27 minutes a day that I can devote to throwing a post up, right? So we're just going to say, hey, if you've got 27 minutes a day, I'm going to meet you where you are. Here's where I think that will get you on your Plexus journey, right? So a lot of that is just expectations. September was just my 20th wedding anniversary. And let me just share with you, expectations is a word that will make or break any relationship in anything, personal, business, or otherwise. I was expecting this. My husband was like, who knew? Like, you can't be mad at me when you're expecting this. And I didn't even know. So expectations are one of those things. We might be expecting, you know, people to not slow fade. But it maybe is just a conversation of where are you? Where do you want to be? And how can I help you get there? And then there's going to be those people who, like Jen said, that slow fade. we need to be that loving nudge behind them and say, I see you. This is what's happening. Let's prevent this. What can I do to help you move the needle forward? Can we do a 3-way chat? Can we do a quick messenger event? Can I come to your house and do a sip and see? And be able to fill in the gaps with that. So all of that to be said, I have notebooks. So this is mine from last night. Last night, when everything was said and done at 10:30 p.m., I wrote down all of my active level 1s and what they had ordered. So I knew for November, now there's some easy ways to do this. I'm not a spreadsheet girl. I'm a hardcore, get my Erin Condren out and write their name down and change the colors if they're new and like all the things. If you guys don't use Bic bold pens in your business, I'm just saying you're missing out. And if you didn't buy the holiday set that had all of the pretty Plexus stuff, you also missed out. Jennifer didn't know I was going to get so excited about setting goals. So you need to know, where are you? Where do you want to be? I have one of those sheets that I print up. I can upload into Jen's team page with the goals for where your points are every single day, waking up, with whatever points on the first. What are your trends? Where are you? Did you fall back? Are you ahead? I love whoever said she's highest points ever. She knew what her points were last month. So she knows that she just hit highest points ever. Knowing where you are, where you need to be. Last thing before I stop talking, and we're going to do 5 minutes of goals. Not only do you need to set the whole, I want to be emerald, I want to be diamond, next month or this month for December, I want to be gold. Those are really important goals, but I also need you guys to set some goals that are attainable, that will give you that feel good gold star for the day. So maybe it's a reach out goal. Maybe it's a follow-up goal. Maybe it's a thank you card in the mailbox goal. Give yourself small attainable goals so that on the process of you saying, I want to hit this rank, even if that rank doesn't happen, you can be proud of the growth and the journey. And like Krista said, the process of you growing and learning through what's going to happen in your business on the way to the goals and the payoffs. Tina, for what I do with my list, and you guys know, I feel like y'all are like the 100 most awesome inner circle power hour people ever. So you guys know I tend to share my heart with this. I had some names pop up on this list. I was like, who are they? Oh my gosh. So I either didn't know who they were, or I was like, oh my gosh, this person literally has not ordered in 5 years. I don't even know how the system let them order, and they just ordered triplex. So I went through, so I have my diamond account, I have my ruby account, and my husband's emerald account. So I have 57 active level 1s who are all over 100 PV. And it was for me, just like, that meme that talks about you got to get your ducks in a row, except I don't have ducks, I have squirrels, and we're all at a rave. That's me. So this was me attempting to get my ducks in a row for who I'm going to reach out to, who I'm going to cheer on for the new year, who might be doing our December challenge with taking their supplements and drinking their water, or just saying, girl, where you been for 5 years? I'm so happy you're going to get back on the triplex. So it was just and I was messaging like crazy. So last night, it wasn't about pushing points. It was about how many people on this list can I get in their inbox and love on them, and serve them and follow up with them. So that's what I did with that list until midnight last night. So we are going to take 5 minutes, get your planner, get your pretty notebook, get your stationery, get whatever it is that's close to you on your desk. And I've got all my Erin Condren stuff, my stickers. I've even got my goal setting stickers. Jennifer didn't even tell me to talk. This is what happens when you tell me to turn my camera on. And we are going to set December goals, leaders retreat goals, end of the year Q4 goals. And then you have to set your December goals for what's going to make you proud and excited, even if you don't hit those huge rank goals. What is going to make you proud and excited for? I showed up. I moved my needle forward, whether it's personal growth and development. You're going to listen to all of the diamonds in December training. Easy goal. set the goal and check it off and you'll be able to accomplish that. So get your stuff out and write some stuff down. We're going to spend 5 or 6 minutes dreaming, vision casting. Where do you want to say 2021 ended? Because when you filter it through perspective, yeah, there was some really, really hard, tough stuff. What can we say? But you know what? In 2021, I learned this. In 2021, I accomplished this. I might not be where I want to be, but this is where I got to. One other thing I want to share, and then if you guys want to start writing some of your goals, the other thing is, remember, if you set a goal and don't tell anybody, you might as well not set the goal, right? You got to put it out there. That gives that a little bit of accountability for that little bit of a nudge of if somebody's going to ask you, hey, did you hit that goal? Because if you set it and you don't tell, you not hit it and nothing happens. And that's not good. So if you do want to share in the comments, that would be great. But also here's another thing that I want you to remember is when you set a goal, so let's just say, we'll just say for generalizations, gold is 20 people. I know now with the it being 6 points, it's a little bit less, but just for ease of an example. And you had, 16 people finish last month, knowing, not just saying, I need 4 more people. So I need to retain everybody and add 4 new people to hit this. It can't stop there. There has to be practical action steps for if you need to enroll 4 new people this month, starting today, what are the activities going to be that are going to make that happen? You can't say I'm going to enroll 4 new level 1s and then only talk to 4 people in the entire month, right? So breaking that down to how many people I need to talk to. Does this mean I'm going to do my own, 3-day challenge? Does this mean that I'm going to invite to every single opportunity call that corporate hosts for us? How many invites am I going to be doing? How many reach outs and follow-ups am I going to be doing? What are the ways that I can generate interest, fill my funnel, and move people through to making a decision by New Year's Eve to join my team? Remember, we don't want you to ever feel like you're working towards a goal out of desperation. We are here to give and to love and to serve, right? Years ago, I think it was the 2016 convention, Jennifer said, listen, guys, it's always people over points. And that always has stuck with me. When we think about people and hearts and lives changed, for me sitting here right now, when I was working on my team page cover photo, the enroll to and get a $50 cash bonus, up to enrolling 20 people. Who do you know that needs some cash for Christmas? I'm like sitting here for Cyber Monday, click, 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 money's flying out of my computer, ordering Christmas for my family. There are people right now in your life who don't have the extra $50 or $100 to even make any gifts happen for their family. Who could we chat with about cash for Christmas? Would you be open to me showing you how you could start this business and share with a few friends, and we could get some cash bonuses into your bank account next week? And that might be something where you start making that list today of who could use this opportunity. I don't talk about the business enough. And yet here I am living in complete and full freedom and blessing. I should be shouting it from the rooftops that Plexus has changed my life and that we can offer health and hope and financial blessing for the Christmas season. So I'll stop talking now, Jennifer.
That's why I asked you to do goals. I know it makes you act like that, and I love it. I think it's awesome. And what we talked about earlier, I just want to bring it up. When people have that slow fade, don't hear me say that if that's happening to you, that I don't think you care. Because if that's happening to you, there are places that we can start looking in your business to start working to bring that back up. But if somebody's in a slow fade and you go to them and they give you, I know some people are saying, there's so many people drowning in life. Now, this is hard. And you may think I'm a total jerk, and I actually don't care because I know what my intention is. If someone tells me all the ways they're drowning in life, I'm going to immediately say, can I challenge you on something? And they're going to look at me like, you're not very nice because I just told you like all the things, like I'm tired and my this and my dog and my house and then my water main and all that. They're going to tell me all that. And I'm going to say, can I challenge you on something? Wouldn't having this opportunity and having that success help with those things? If you guys aren't willing to do that for people, who is going to do that for them? And if you don't have someone doing that for you, you need to find someone. You got to have someone that will say, I appreciate you're going through all that, but I'm going to challenge you on this. Or if someone says, well, nobody wants to order or it's too hard, you're going to say, Why do you think that is? Because they know the answer. They already know it, but you're just going to ask them to think about it. It might sound like you're being mean, but really what you're doing is becoming a champion for them. And most people won't do that for someone. So I wouldn't take anybody's excuses. And here's how I can feel confident in that. I watched Alita walk through the depths of grief and fear with no life insurance, and it was terrible. And she used that as her reason, not as her excuse. And there are people that need this, and that's what we do. We connect them to that. So I'm going to keep working on my December goals. I don't know if you saw Shauna's goals that she put in the chat. She's really good at that. So I copied and pasted them. I'm going to make a Facebook post for my team page about it. I'm going to be like, here's some ideas. I'm not going to lie and say I came up with it, but that would be fun to do. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about, you've already worked on your word for the year on a previous Zoom, but if you haven't picked it, you need to go ahead and get that going, because what I want you guys to do is use that as a post coming up. I picked purposeful, because I'm going to learn to say yes and no based upon whether that item fits with what my goals actually are. Because sometimes I say yes too much or I say no too much. And then I'm going to look for quotes that have that word in it. And I'm really going to be purposeful in making that word part of my life for 2022. So make sure you've picked that. The other thing that I wrote down for you guys is we're going to focus on Monday on the skills of retention. So we're going to look at how do we get people plugged in? How do we get them adding 3? And then how do we get them having results on the products? So just be prepared for that. And then stick with your diamonds in December. If you don't have a team page, reach out to me so that you know that you can see those videos. And then I will see you guys on Monday. Thanks. See you guys.